Got a little diagnostic thing up on the top right monitoring my. Oh, there's my own voice coming out of my phone. There we go, fixed. Ah, yes, I'm sorry about that. It's perplexing. Not sure why that happens. Oh yeah, I got to remember to take over AGF. Take over Jacob's team. Yeah, I got a diagnostic thing running up in my top right corner, watching my CPU, GPU, VRAM, RAM, and FPS, just to make sure something isn't going wrong up there. I don't know why that happened. That's the third time it's happened. There any OP roles this year? Like again, always trying to scale those back. Like last year it was definitely the AFs. They're still pretty good. CM on attack. You know, those are still pretty good. I mean, they're just slightly more balanced than last season, luckily, and we made AMC's kind of good again, even though last year they were not nearly as good as I want, not as consistent as I want them to be. Is what I should say. They still played well. Oh yeah, I got to replay my game against North Macedonia. Darn it. Well, maybe I'll get fewer injuries this time. Let's hope for that. See, I have to replay the one game. Not a problem. Shadow Striker, you found them good? Like I said, that's an AMC role. So I found them to be streaky. Good sometimes, and just completely garbage other times, which could happen to any position, realistically. But I thought it just happened a little bit too much where they went disappeared for long periods of time. Shadow Striker, I think, was probably the best AMC role. I mean, I would agree with you there. But again, I didn't feel like they were as consistent as other rules in the game, other positions in the game. AMC, I didn't like it as much. It was you were better off using a defensive midfielder than an attacking midfielder, and I don't like things to be that static. So I think they're better and balanced now. But again, that's based all on feedback that people give us, and so far, it seems like it's better. I mean, it's another beta, so injuries are still up a little higher than they normally would be, but I don't have a ton of injury problems because I know how to manage them. I wish people would learn how to manage their injuries rather than complain about them. Because I mean, if you look at the amount of real life injuries, it's astronomically higher than what it is in the game. How do you manage them? Oh, okay. After this game, I'll show you how to manage injuries in a very meaningful way. Yeah, and it's not just looking at data that's already there. Everybody knows how to do that, but I can probably tell you at least one thing you may not have thought of. That's not cool. Is in the first replay, Ericsson scored his penalty, but there was a penalty again in this game. It's scripted. Oh no, because he didn't score it this time. So that would be bad scripting. Come on, you guys. We won the last one 4-0. This time the referees aren't as nice to us so far. Although that was offside. I'm not going to argue. I agree that it was offside. Reluctantly. Still doing well. Get it in. Oh, what the hell was. Okay, at least we got a corner out of that. Okay. What are we at now? Like almost 80% possession? This is a slightly better showing already than the last time around, but only a 1-0 lead. One of those games. Far from pleased with it there. I'll agree. That should fire them up a little, I hope. This is one of those games where like the other team could easily score a single goal and completely derail what I'm doing here. Yeah, no, I understand, and I can alleviate that for you. Just give me a moment, and I have to finish this game in order to show you. Jonas Wind. Hey, you're Danish. Is it Jonas Wind or Wind? The Wind? Wind. Wind? Wind. First one? Second one? Which one is it? It's funny how many people I get from Denmark that drop into the stream, and I've asked that question before, and most of the time they don't know. Okay, wind, wind, wind. as in winding someone up, or wind, as in the wind is blowing? Wind. It's wind. Okay. Thank you. I've been often wondering about that. I've been saying it wrong the whole time. My guess was the other. But it's good to know the actual difference. Right, you're the backup for that position, so you have to go there. Haha, I learned that last time and now I've remembered. I remembered something called Guinness. Put it in the Book of World Records. This is an amazing feat that I have remembered something. You're a Copenhagen fan. Oh, I get it. I understand. I kind of gathered that based on you asked why they were doing so badly, and I'm as surprised as you are. They've been doing really well up until this point, often giving us a hard time for the top spots. But right now we're at the point where there's 3 Champions League places, so no big deal. They didn't get through on the qualifiers though, so they dropped down to Europa League. This is what I've come to expect from the AI run teams. That's why I took over a third one. I didn't want to take over Copenhagen though, because I thought, no, I don't want to take the obviously next best team. They're already good. They don't need help. Let's help one of the smaller teams and well, small-ish teams, and try to balance it out so there's even more good teams. And then all of a sudden, started nosediving, and I'm like, well, now I wish I'd taken them. What I did say though, and you weren't here for it, the last save, is that if for any reason they finish outside of the top 6 and I don't feel like we're making progress, I'll take over a fourth team and it'll be them. I did say that. As I want to get to fifth. Fifth is my goal. If we can move up into the top 5, I'll declare this save successful and start a new one where I'm a single team again and can actually score points on the leaderboard. Because I'm not a fan of playing with multiple teams. It's a fun experiment, and I'm doing it because people ask me to, and I don't mind. I am entertained by this save, but it bothers me that I'm not scoring points on the leaderboard. That actually matters to me. I know most people don't. I I'm going to quickly save that so I don't have to redo it again. Your game crashed and you forgot to save. Oh, well, most crashes happen in game. Just before a game or just after a game, like inside the game, like when you click submit team. Most crashes happen in that span. So saving before and after is why that's my default setting. Okay, let me show you exactly how to avoid so many training injuries. So here's a fact: playing games is way more important than training. Know what I'm saying? And when I have fast and heavy games like this is where it becomes a problem, especially, right? So in between matches, what I love to do is just don't let my players train at all. It's true most games do not crash when you aren't playing them. Yes, Wayne. It's a very astute observation. God Lord. I just had my Windows lock up on me for the third time, though. I'm actually kind of concerned about that. Mm. But yeah, just don't let your players train. So what you do is, like I play a game and then like I'll play this one and then I know I'm playing here, so I've got these 3 days. As soon as this game's done, not before I even move ahead again, I'll take my starting 11 and I'll do what I like to call wrapping them up in bubble wrap, and I will rest them for the 3 days in between. Okay, they will not train between this game and this game at all. You don't do your training yourself. Okay, I mean, that's fine, but this isn't doing your training yourself. This is I'm telling you to rest your players in between so they don't train. You don't need to do your training yourself. I mean, I advise you to do your training yourself. It's much better to do your training yourself. The AI is terrible at it, and that's another reason you're getting a ton of injuries is because I guarantee you when like okay, the AI sets the training up at the start of the season and at the midpoint of the season. Okay? It sets it up for the entire calendar. So, if you get a cup draw dropped in there, right? You'll get a news thing that says, "Hey, they'll." I mean, I wish I could just show you one. It'll ask you for your training report coming up for the next week. I'm gonna see if this pops up, training calendar, and all of a sudden you've got a game right here that you didn't have before, right? Well, none of these get adjusted by the AI. The stuff before it, the stuff after it, right? So even if you don't do your own training, you should go here and re-click on the recommended thing. It'll readjust this stuff. Otherwise, it's just going to leave all the heavy, hectic shit on both sides of a match. It doesn't change it. The AI will not change that. Like you got to watch these bars down here, and if like you got halfway here, and then a game here, yeah, you're going to get a ton of injuries. But for me, if I got 2 games in a week, I just don't let them train at all. I rest them for the days in between. You feel like a stupid ass. Please don't. Please don't. Not everyone knows this stuff. I mean, like, again, I can take for granted what I know about this because I've been working on it for so long, right? Knowing this stuff is a matter of, I would say, a matter of experience, but it's also a matter of knowing how the game works. And not everyone does because honestly, as I don't tell you, they love having the air of mysticism about this game. They love letting people debate whether or not the AI learns your tactics. I have said that to Miles numerous times. I have said, dude, why do we let people believe things about our game that isn't true? And he says, it makes us look good. If people believe that our game is that sophisticated, why would we want to correct them? I'm like, okay, I guess. Yes, like I suppose that makes sense. You know what I mean? You don't think about it. Okay, I mean, and that's okay. But it's good to know that the AI doesn't help you. It doesn't. It's like, yeah, it'll drop a match in midweek and it doesn't adjust your training for you. Wouldn't it be nice if it did? In fact, I'm not doing my training. I'm not managing my training on the 2 teams on here that aren't my own. I'm letting the AI do the training on that. But I know the difference that when a match gets dropped in there, that I should readjust the training for that week. Right? So you don't have to do your own training. You just really should watch for where they drop a match in the middle of a week. And you still don't have to like formulate any thought patterns whatsoever. You can still turn your brain off. That's a okay. But at least go in there and readjust it, like I just showed you, so that the AI will change either side of a match. You just go right here and you just pick what they want already. You don't boom, and it will change this. Okay, that's cool. Like I could show up here and it could have all of this crap everywhere, right? Like it's gonna be like, oh my god, the AI did all of this stuff, and then a game gets dropped in here. And look at this. This is gonna kill my player. So I'm just gonna go like that, and it's gonna change it. Boom. Let the AI do that. Anything else? Yes. Well, I mean, you caught what I was saying about resting players, but what's important about resting them between is that you got to count from the days that are in between. So, like, every once in a while, you'll finish a match and you'll just, you know, absentmindedly hit the continue button and it'll move ahead another day. So, I want to rest my players for 3 days from the moment this match finishes. I have to look up here and make sure it's still the 20th. Okay. That's important because if it's the 21st and it had shuffled forward, it does that a lot without you realizing. And I rest them for 3 days. They're all still going to be on rest when I hit this game, and I don't want that. You want to send a link? What's it for? Thanks for asking, by the way. It's most likely going to be fine, but I just want to know what it's for. Show a picture for you. Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah, no problem. I'm used to looking at that in my Discord when people want to chat, but I've had to limit my Discord to to subscribers now because I had too many people in there. Way too many people in there. It got kind of out of hand. So yeah. But definitely show me a picture of what it is you want me to see and have a look at it for you. And this is another part of training right here is always praising these guys and giving these guys crap. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Just throw it on there. Yeah, so that is at least an image site that I know. So what is it you want me to see here? Right. So you play Wolves. The minute your game is done, you rest them for 3 days before they play Inter. Because it's or at least the players are going to play the next game. If you're going to rotate your players, fine, whatever. But I would rest whoever's going to play in the next game, and probably some of my bench players if I really needed to. I would rest them in. Players don't need to train if they're playing games at all. Playing 2 games in a week and training for the 5 days in between, real teams don't do that at all. They don't. Players don't train 5 days a week and play 2 games in a week. Hell no. That is so not realistic. So you shouldn't do it in the game either. But again, who's telling you that? Where is this information available, right? You're supposed to just know, and I don't like that. There should be more things that teach people how to do these very basic things, and it frustrates me sometimes that there's a lack of it. Yeah, I wouldn't train in between those games at all. And then you got another game like 2 days later, right after the second game there. So again, don't train them in between those. I'm not the real coach yet. How should I know? See, exactly, precisely. I think it's an unrealistic expectation to have everybody jump into this game and know exactly what they're doing. And I find that more often than not, when people are posting on our forums with their frustrations about these exact things, oh my God, the injuries are crazy. I'm like, well, you can control them. And I try to tell them these things. I'm like, so here's what you do. They're like, why isn't this information readily available on the internet everywhere? And I'm like, it's strange to tell you, but the guy in charge of this game kind of likes the air of mysticism around it. He doesn't actually like telling people how to do things on here, and uh, I wish that he wasn't like that. Honestly, I do wish that he'd be like, oh, the user experience should matter more. But let's face it, we know he doesn't care about the user experience. He cares about the bottom line. And my frames per second is up at 100. There's nothing going wrong up there. I mean, now I'm scared my Windows is going to lock up again. Let's hope it doesn't. Okay, so Randers, I am away. Randers. Quite a few players tired right now. Not enough that I need to panic. You need to find out yourself, but some of this stuff you would never find out if I didn't tell you. You know what I mean? That you don't need to trade your players in between games. How would you find that out yourself? Testing and experimenting, I guess. I guess you could figure that out on your own, but it's not guaranteed to happen, is it? No, you need somebody who knows how the game works to tell you that kind of thing. Plus, I suppose if you know about real life football, and that's something I do bring up, I have said, well, in real life football, they don't do that. But a ton of people don't know what happens in real life football either. They're like, oh, I didn't know that they didn't train and play 7 days a week. I'm like, is it realistic? I can smash your friends. You want to smash your friends? Ask me for a tactic. I'll give you a tactic that you can plug in. I mean, it won't be broken. It won't. It'll just be really good. I don't do broken AI tactics, but I mean, Drop Bear is obviously not here right now. He must be busy playing his game, but he can tell you. I could just drop a tactic on you, and you can just go win. It's fun. And he stopped in the very first day I was playing FM24, and he's like, "Give me a tactic for FM24." So I gave him one, and he's just been rolling on it ever since. You want to do your own tactics? I respect that. I do. But do you? Do you do your own tactics? Do you? Honestly, how do you set up your tactic? Oh, okay, good. That guy sold. Yes, I couldn't even give him away before. Now I'm gonna get some money for him. Sweet. Oh no, I don't have a right back for this team. Ugh. I want to play like in real life. No, I get it, but how do you set up your tactic? Like, how do you make your own tactic in the game? Probably like a lot of people, right? Yeah. Go in here, right? And you go create tactic, and it has the drop down, and you pick a formation, and you pick a style, and it boops up right there, right? Pre-made tactic. Then you kind of work with that for a bit. But every pre-made tactic in this game, I made. So what difference does it make? You take custom. Uh like this? You mean tactical style custom? I mean, that's what I do after I save it. It's a custom style. Uh, Yep, fair enough. I mean, I like I said, I do respect it, but I have had a lot of people say, "Oh, I make my own tactic." I'm like, "Oh, do you?" But all they're really doing is setting up a pre-made tactic. I'm like, "You're using my tactics either way." I like that. That's fine. No, make your own definitely. Like you say, you shuffling them around, making your own thing from scratch. It feels good, doesn't it? Like when you get something working, you're just like, that feels nice. So I understand it. I do. I mean, I can just look at things and know how they're going to work ahead of time. And sometimes that's good, but sometimes it really takes a lot of the fun out of the game for me. Sometimes it's a curse. Every once in a while, I need a right back. I don't even have a right back. I guess this guy's playing. Oh my god. This is bad. He's like silver stars. That's the only healthy right back I have. Oh, I mean, but it's still your own. Like I get it. No matter how many try variations you try to come up with on here, somebody else probably has done it. That's not what I meant. But you're right. That's going to be the case. So what? That's not what I mean at all. No. I guess this guy has to be on the bench. He's tired, but he can play. By that logic, I'm gonna have to play this guy, even though he's this tired. You know what? They'll sub him in. They'll sub him in. I'm gonna trust my AI. Don't ever do that. I'm gonna trust my AI to do the right thing here. I'm gonna do the thing I shouldn't do. Trust the AI. That's hard to do because I know how stupid it is. Hey, they're at least at home to Brondby. This is still going to be a tough match for them because Brondby's playing really well right now. I like using deep line playmakers. Like on this one here, this is one of the tactics I've been floating with here this season. It's great. It's super awesome. Like if you were to look at my Norchland team, it's mostly super young players who honestly aren't shouldn't be that great. Like I've only got a couple of guys who are even like in the 3.5 star range, but most of them are like this and this, like low star players. And I've got them in third place, damaging other teams with just a good tactic. You know, that's all it takes sometimes. Good tactic. And of course, it really helps once you start getting the lines between your players and stuff. That helps a lot. These guys up top having that. Check this out. Check this out. You got to see this. Look at the goals my two goal scorers are scoring. You think this would be a defensive tactic, but look at that. How much these two fools up top are scoring. That's awesome. Yep, ball winning midfielder is really, really good as a DM role. Yep, I have that one on one of my other tactics. I'll show you that one. Add. All right. I'll just set up my games. Okay, let's get that one rolling. Team selection. I'm tired. These guys are a little bit less tired. So at least AGF isn't completely dying after the break this time. AGF is the freshest out of the break. They are home to Copenhagen. This is definitely going to slow down Copenhagen. I'm pretty sure AGF's going to beat them. Pretty darn sure. Yeah, look at all these nice lines. Those are so satisfying. Those lines make such a big difference. It's what you want. You want to see lines between your players like that. I mean, preferably bright green, but those lines are awesome for teams playing above their station tactically. Pick up where you left, time out. So I am away and with a bunch of changes. I'm worried about Northland's game here, but we'll see what happens. I can't believe that. We're down a goal. Last 20 seconds in. Oh my god. Oh, we're down a goal 20 seconds in. I have to berate my players for that. That's some horseshit, guys. What the hell? Yikes. Yeah, you want me to look at? I mean, I'll look at it if you want me to. Oh, there's Borset getting the goal back. My central defender steps up and gets us the goal back. Oh man, clean sheets are so much harder this year than last year, and I hate that we did that. But at least we took out the achievement where you had to get 30 in a row or 20 in a row. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to get them in a row. You just have to get 20 in a whole season or 30 in a whole season. 30 in a whole season still a ton of clean sheets, no matter how you look at it. But they no longer have to be in a row. So good for that, right? Because it wasn't realistic. It just wasn't going to happen. Who's getting 30 clean sheets in a row without cheating? It's like, the game is no longer capable of doing that. Um, I'm going to thrash my arms at them like a muppet. Okay, this is looking awful. Here they come again. Oh my god, they've taken That can't count. It Oh, it does because it went off my player. All right, I have to berate my team again. This is unbelievable. I'm only playing mostly starters here. Shouldn't be getting bad results against a team this awful. Holy cow. All right, let's look this through. Alfred, you are doing horribly. Fell, you are doing horribly. Oh, Sagers, you are stinking up the place. I didn't want to play Asp Jansen today. Steinlen, you are playing like you just learned how yesterday. All right, four subs at 52 minutes. There's something you don't see me do often. It's tough right out of an international break sometimes. You don't always know how your players are going to perform. In this case, terribly. Just terribly. We should be able to get it back. All right, there's the tying goal. He scored just in time to be subbed off. Yep, not changing my mind on that. I'm demanding more. Shouts are a big deal in this game. You can change what you're doing. Numbers wise, everything's in our control. So I'll stick to this shout. Should still win this game. Let's get to 75 ish. All right, Esmeraldo 6.4 plus he's almost completely dead. So he has to be the guy that comes off. My only option is Symmetra. Time to change my formation, I think. Probably went this way, don't I? That. Stein in here, Cargard here. Smeraldo out. Silas Nelson there. Now I don't have to play Symmetra at wing. Plus, this should be a bit more attacking. I know, putting in an extra central defender, you don't think instantly, oh, that looks more attacking, but it is. This also gets way more possession. So I think I can get my game back under control with this. Off we go. Hope for the best. See if I can make myself look smart again. Sometimes it works. Well, most of the time it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I hate it when it doesn't. A draw here would actually be very devastating to our title bid. Already 4 points behind EGF, and dropping points to teams like this really doesn't help. Oh, God. Kutsia just hit the crossbar. Because, of course, he did. This doesn't look good. It's looking like a draw. Okay, well, we're getting a replay with a minute and a half left, so something's going to happen. Probably just another chance, but maybe it'll be a goal. Come on, guys. Make me look good. Make me look good. Oh, that was it. Just a wee chance. Oh, we still got it? Maybe not. No. All right, it was just a chance that went nowhere. A draw. A draw. Against a team I should never only get a draw against. God damn, and you know AGF. Oh, I'll play AGF directly next, so I should get some points back there, I hope. Although it's never a guarantee. Yeah, AGF beat Copenhagen. Arsenal beat Brøndby. That puts us a full 6 points behind them. So even beating them in the next match head to head still keeps us 3 points off the title race. And we're only 2 points ahead of Northland for second now. I mean, this is catastrophic for Lyngby right now. We've run away with the league every single year I've been playing it, except for the first one, obviously, when they were just awful. But I still got top six that year with a freshly promoted team. Oh, I'm just forlorn right now. Froland needs a rest. Here's a big thing for me is when they come up with here, they say they're jaded and need a rest. Check your schedule because if you can spare them, go here and go here to rest. send them out for a week. He's going to miss 2 games. Comes back, he'll be right. That's one of the reasons people lose a ton, part of the way through the season is their match loads get way too high. Heavy match loads, if you get them high enough in combination with the fatigue here, see the fatigue? This guy will forget how to play football. I think match load and fatigue should be on the default screen at all times for people to see. Because if you keep playing the same players over and over and over again, eventually they just forget how to play because they're too tired. That's why people hit mid-season slumps. It isn't scripted. No, most people do it to themselves. They're not reading your tactics and adjusting. No, you're probably just making your players too tired. That's one of the almost always that's the case. I think it's absolutely 100% essential to have on your main screen here match load and fatigue. You could just throw a pick up there. I mean, is it a really good tactic? Do you think it's like super awesome? Should I give it to the tactics testing team to check out? Because that's what I do. Like we test all that we make the tactics, and we often go around collecting tactics off the internet that are supposed to be OP and making adjustments from them. I love when people do my work for me. It's great. It's like thank you, Nap, for making OP tactics so that we can make adjustments. But yeah, if you think it's a super awesome, amazing OP tactic, I mean, I would take the tactic and I can obviously throw it throw it at people to test it. But yeah, okay, it's a pretty standard one. Ball playing defenders, wingbacks on support. Hey, oh yeah, that makes sense for what you got there. It's quite a defensive tactic. You only got 3 guys on attack. Very conservative. Very, very conservative. But if it works for you, that's what matters. Thinking about playing, okay, well, look at this tactic right here. Here's the same formation. Different roles, obviously, but same formation. Look at that one. 6 guys on attack. But this tactic absolutely crushes. And here's a funny thing about this. A funny thing about this tactic is it's actually what we call my tall man tactic, is what we had last year. It's this tactic right here, but I just took this guy and dropped him here. That's it. That's all I changed because this is Jacob's team and he loves playing this formation, but he's never been able to get it to the point where they could be dominant. And I looked at it, I dissected it, and I thought about it, and all I did was take this and drop it here and make him an attacking AM, and this team just absolutely slaughters. Now, they don't get many clean sheets. That doesn't matter. I mean, you can do what you like. I mean, you want to make your own tactic. I probably shouldn't help you or tell you what to do, right? I know what I would change, but if you want to test this tactic, I'll send it to you and you can try it out. But like you said, you want to use your own, and I completely get that. If you ever feel crazy and you just want to experiment with something, let me know. I can give you all kinds of different tactics. But something, see right here, I'm resting my guys for 2 days because that's how many days I have before they play the next game. Nobody in my starting 11 is going to train. I'm going to do, as I said, I call this wrapping them in bubble wrap. And I'm going to do this with every team. Angelo should be starting games. Yeah, I was resting him. I I rested. I hate it when they bitch like that when I'm resting them. You want me to see it? Sure. I mean, I look at tactics all day, every day almost, but absolutely. Sure. I can look at a tactic. I don't know what you want. Like, do you want like feedback or, again, I don't want to tell you how to use your tactic or what to change or anything because then it's not really making it, is it? Training rest for 2 days. Here, I left a couple of guys not. I'm letting some of these guys rest, and I probably shouldn't. but they didn't play in the last game. So these match loads are all light. I'm more comfortable with that. You want feedback? Okay. Well, the last one you showed me was very conservative. That's my feedback. I don't want to say too much more. Because, I mean, yeah, I can look at a tactic and tell you how to make it work just by looking at it. Change this, this, and this, and it's going to be unbeatable. Ugh, not quite unbeatable. Nothing's unbeatable. Unless you try to break the match engine, which I don't like people. But it doesn't happen as much as it used to. It's not like, the three strikers up front tactics we had a few years back that just absolutely perplexed us. I didn't like those. Took us way too long to figure out why they were working so well and how to counter them. But it got done, didn't it? That's no hurry. I don't plan on going anywhere soon. I feel like I've only been here a short amount of time. No need to rush. 21's my reserve squad. You available for this match? I can request you directly after though. Oh yeah, Peterson's injured. Arg! Take you out. Take you out. Take you out. Take you out back and shoot you. Okay. Not what I want to do. Obviously. Oh my god. Some of these guys are really tired. This is seriously my only striker? Really? I I need I need Youth Academy Day to come. It'd be nice if I could get another striker. Oh, it's just a friendly. Oh, what do I care? Damn, I just realized this is a friendly game. I'm stressing about it. Friendly games do not matter. So pick without restriction, unpick positions. Don't really care either. It's going to be a bunch of tired guys, but hopefully they're smart enough not to use them. Hopefully. Okay. That's what you used last year? One wingback's attacking and one's on support. I like symmetry. That's just me. I like symmetry way much. Ew. Not your tactic. No. Your tactic is fine. I said you because it's Manchester United. Yeah. Silly, I know. Jefferson, Nielsen, Rasmussen, Jensen. Straight rest 2 days. 2 days is going to be the days that I'm going to give a rest to you. But actually sing it would probably earworm someone. They ain't good right now. I know. I'm happy about that. You see what shirt I'm wearing, right? uh, Heads up about Herslov. He wants more playing time. I mean, that's not unreasonable. Well, the trend in real life football, as we try to reflect in the game, is that Defensive midfielders are being used a lot more now, rather than central midfielders. So defensive midfielders in the game are slightly more effective, I suppose, depending on your tactic. But I mean, there's I still have tactics where obviously I'm not using them a lot. But I do like right now the tactics with DMs over CMs. I am enjoying them more because they have a bit more flexibility. I mean, a couple seasons ago, you couldn't play with more than one DM because they was just awful and ugly. Like here, only have one defensive midfielder. This is a traditional tactic right here. But if you look at my secondary tactics, no central midfielder here. Oh, that's not a good example. It's actually not my other one. Still though, this is one of my more effective ones. No central midfielders at all. I would have to load up a different save to show you different tactics that we're playing with. But yeah, I like defensive midfielders right now. They're kind of my go-to. But it depends on if you have the players to pull it off and what type of style you're going for. How you're going to press is a big thing, and I mean I don't want to say how attacking you're going to be because some of my tactics look really defensive, but they're not. If I could, I don't know how to explain it more without showing you. And I don't really want to load up another save right now, but yeah, like I'm playing a save with Accrington Stanley. I don't know if you know who they are, but they're kind of a small. They're the poorest team in English professional pyramid. They actually spent the last few seasons in League One, which is amazing considering the shoestring budget they have. They've since been relegated. They're now back down to League Two, but that's okay. Oh, yeah, man. All right. 4 seconds. Well, that says the ads are done. Don't know if it's accurate though. Oh, they are done. Okay. Where did we leave off? I don't remember what I was saying at that exact moment. Right, but yeah, I don't specifically remember what I was saying. Sorry, my mind kind of just went as soon as you said ads. I'm like, okay, and then I couldn't retain the thoughts. I have a bad memory. I think I've emphasized that point plenty of times to people. I do not have a good memory. Don't count on me to remember. It's not gonna happen. All right, save before this. Only one heavy match load player going into that. I feel okay about it. That's okay. It's not a big deal. I think I was talking about styles of play and whatnot, and DMs are currently better than CMs, and I don't know other things. Words about stuff. I want to put another damn goalkeeper on the bench. One goalkeeper's enough, man. None of these guys. Well, shit. I have to play with not quite a full deck. That's been so hard with this team because I could only register so many players. I have another question about youth players. I mean, I hope I know the answer to it. Probably. So far, you haven't stumped me, but I don't know everything. Some things are not in my area of expertise, right? But I can usually find out, which is nice. I do like knowing that if I don't know something, I can usually find out pretty quick. I sure as shit don't know everything. Sometimes I have to stop and ask. Look at all the light matches. Just one heavy match load here. And actually, I'm going to rotate him. Yeah. Who are they playing? Eindhoven. Okay, well, this is a big game. So, should I rotate? Yeah. Yeah, no, I think this guy's a little better anyway. Okay. Red Bull Salsa. I'm going to go with that. Go do things that make me happy, like score goals and win. So Juventus is winning and I'm drawing. A goal right off the bat. That's what I like to see. That eases our pressure a little bit. And another. Shea Lacey. What's the difference between playing him on my senior team, 16 to 18, and if you played him under 20 months? Competition level and playing time. So you probably know that more playing time is good for a young player, obviously. Some people argue that loans are best. I don't. I don't think so. Playing at the highest possible level, the most possible, is usually good, and unless you want to overwhelm them. I'm not just going to drop a 16-year-old player into my first team and expect him to be good, right? But he'll still get better growth doing that. So my thing is, if I get a guy who's young-ish, I run my own. I can't. So much easier to show you. I run my own B team because I want to be able to pick who plays in every game. I instant results them. I don't play them, but I like to be able to choose who's going to start. So when I get a good young prospect like Morton Jensen here, right? The first thing I think to myself is, all right, he's going to be good. He's going to be real good. So what I want to do is play him as much as I can in the highest position I can. So the first thing I did was I promoted him to my B team, but I also made him available for my under 19s. So he'll play both because more playing time, good. And as you can tell when I look at my main team, I also show my B team squad here, so I can choose from players down here. And once in a while, if I'm playing like a nothing cup game or what have you, I will put him on the bench or start him, give him some first team minutes. But this is just something I do for big prospects. You know, if they don't look like huge prospects, I still just leave them on my under 18s or under 19s in Denmark, as you know. Um, Depending on what nation you're playing in, 18s, 19s. Having said that, youth squads. How's that? Better, right? So yeah, some of these guys will never move from this team because they're just as fillers, fill in the bench, so to speak. I try to focus on my reserve squad. This is where I want my best young prospects playing. Is on my reserve squad, and I'm going to try to get them the best matches possible if they're not in a league. But if they're going to be really good prospects, I also want to try my very best to get them on a bench once in a while in case I have a blowout match. And then I sub them in, you know, try to it's a matter of balance and management of minutes. But for good young players, I don't even care if they're on a heavy match load. If I'm winning 6-0 and I can pop them out there for 20 minutes, I'm gonna, you know, heavy match load or not. That's just experience for them and it always boosts their ratings. Their training goes straight up from there, and I always enjoy that. All right, so we're beating Salzburg 4-0 so far. Oh, wait, might get another before the half. Okay, 4-0 at the half. I'm pretty happy with this game so far. Do not let your performance level drop. Still got a couple complacent players on the bench, though, I noticed. I'll have to watch for that when I make my subs. Praise them at 55. Wait for 65. Praise them again. There. Make our first subs. All right. Who is tired? Esmeraldo is very tired. This I'm up 4-0. This guy right here, here's a good youth prospect right here, right? And he's made the bench today because I can put 12 players on the bench. So it's a little easier in this game. Yeah, this is the Champions League, but I'm up 4 goals. I'm pretty sure I can give him some minutes safely and he'll be all right. Hopefully sheltered by, the better players around him. Other one, prospect. He's less of a prospect, more of a complete player at this point. But that's because I worked him up slowly by giving him minutes in games like this one. You know, there, 3 subs. Get some younger guys out there. Take out some of my veterans that don't need to be running around still with a 4-goal lead. Wait for the next praise here. Boom, praise. Oh, for the set piece too. Ah, nothing. But at least that goes over. So now I know I can make changes right now and they'll happen right away because that's a dead ball. So here we go. Tired guy. He's also playing a 6.7. You're having a bad game, Carter. By his standards, anyway. And let's see. 6.8. Insufficient. I go for most tired or the people with the lowest ratings. What are those two things? So from here, 4-goal lead. People say, well, what are you going to change to secure the lead, right? Some of them be like, change your mentality. Why would you change your mentality? You haven't changed that. You've trained, I've trained positive perfectly. I don't want to go changing a bunch of things that make my players not know how to play all of a sudden. I just turn on time wasting. Usually I click on play for set pieces, but with this particular tactic, it's on all the time. So yeah, this is all you need. Turn up time wasting, put on play for set pieces, and then praise the hell out of them as long as you're winning by a few goals and just keep praising them, and you should see out the game just fine. Comebacks almost never happen with that combination. And it's that simple. It's just easy stuff. I don't have to drop another defender out there, take out a winger, none of that stuff. This is what they say. And in real football, they do that. And it should be something that works better here. In real football, they will. They'll take off one of their attackers to put out another defender to hold on to a lead. Well, Football Manager punishes you for that because you're not familiar with that new formation. You're not familiar with the loss of tempo in a game where I see a lot of tired players. One of the few other things I would do is lower the tempo, but I'm not going to do that in this particular case because none of these guys' legs are falling off yet. Look at that! I put out the young guy for some minutes, and he gets a goal. Good for him. Good for him. That's fantastic. We are thoroughly dominating Salzburg here. 5-0. Gotta love it. And then, of course, we play 3 days later, so I'm going to rest all of my players for these 2 days. AGF won 3-0 also. So let's go look at the Champions League table. We are sitting smugly at the top with a perfect season so far. Although I finished first last season too and still got eliminated in the second round. But, that's because the table doesn't matter as much as the knockout rounds. AGF, though, look at this. 3 wins, 2 losses. They're up there. They're going to be in the next play. Hell, they're tied with PSG at this point with a better goal differential. That's saying something. Super braggable. Oh, look at that, too. He's got tied for the most assists so far. Wow. Yep. AGF is doing really well Champions League this time, which is what we need is 2 teams performing well in this competition. Now let's go see how Deutschland did. They won in the Europa League. So let's see where that puts them. They're up in the top 8. Look at that. 3 wins, 1 draw. So I have all 3 of my teams that are competing that I'm controlling doing well. Let's go see how Copenhagen's doing in Europa League. and Michelin. Michelin is 10th currently, which is not bad. Where's Copenhagen? Obviously, oh, there they are, 23rd. Okay, so they're not doing well at all. 2 wins, 3 losses. They lost. To be fair, they lost to Liverpool and Roma. Although they also lost to a team I've never heard of, but they beat Hammerby. That's good. That's really good. You definitely want to beat the Swedes, right? When you're a Dane. I know that. I don't know a lot, but I know that. So yeah, this is a hell of a Europa League. Newcastle, Roma, Liverpool are in there. Lyon, there's some Lazio's in there. Yeah, Europa League's never that easy. There's always a few pretty high end teams at the top in there. So far though, all 5 of our teams that are in Europe are doing all right. It's nice to have 5 teams in Europe. We fought hard for that. Froland training test have coming up. Yeah, this is the time to send them. Send on holiday for a whole week. Beat it. Money for winning in the Champions League is wonderful. Yeah, it's tough when you bring a young guy in and they're not very good. It's scary to put them on because you're like, oh God, my team's going to be worse. But got to take those risks sometimes, especially in situations where you know a game is well in hand. As long as you have enough games that are well in hand, which isn't always the case. Sometimes it can be tough to find playing time for guys because you just can't afford to take out your starters. I understand that dilemma, and it is not easy to deal with. Roland on perfect. You like to make them starters? It's a good way to get them to develop quickly, for sure. Yep, there's nothing wrong with that. It means that they'll be pretty raw at the beginning, to be expected. Slingby have to have attacking corners every time. Good. It's an award. Oh, I did just this. That's because it's AGF. Whoops, that's not even the team I wanted to switch that on. It's this one. Tactics, set pieces. Okay, this one's right. All right, good. Yeah, yeah. Loaded up heavy here. Working okay so far. It's not getting like a gush of goals, but when we get them, they're good. There we go. Give crap to the players that are not performing as well as they ought to in training. So Lingby versus AGF. This will be a big. Fails to complete coaching course. Oh, you son of a bitch. That doesn't happen very often, but it does happen from time to time. That's awful. Cup game here, huh? It's next, right? That's the cup. Yep. Yep. So cup game is next, so I don't care about that as much. I shouldn't say I don't care. I do care. I just going to prioritize the league right now. Kotsia, that's the only change I'm going to make, I think. Gamba's on a heavy match. Otherwise, I might have slid him in. Yeah, this is only change. What do we got here? They are away to the 10th place team. Best way to sell players if you want good money. Play them. um, it's subjective to so many different things, but if they're performing well, they're easier to sell. That should be obvious. Uh, I don't know if you've used the new transfer system of trying to sell them through mediaries. It seems okay. I haven't minded it so far. It doesn't work every time, but it's not meant to work every time. Some players just aren't sellable, realistically. Can't expect that to be the case. Carlos, no. Hats. Hope that wasn't too many changes. All right, so this is heavy match load. Playing. Okay, you're back. Talking about transferring players, which is not the most simple, direct thing to do in the game, as I'm sure you know because you probably tried it. I wish there was an easy answer, but playing them and if they play well generates interest. But you obviously, if you want to sell somebody, it's probably because you don't want to play them, and that's often the case for me. So if I'm trying to get rid of somebody, I don't want to have to play them. You feel like I have ads more often than others. I mean, I'll go check the settings, sure, but I don't think so. If that's the case, I'll fix it. But I'm pretty sure not. I have looked at it before. Maybe time just flies really fast. Did you think of that? But yeah, no, I'll check it. Definitely. That is the case that I'd like to know. Norman's hurt, so he's play at all. Now they'll probably sub him in. Okay, good. That's how I want it. Let me go have a quick gander at my ad settings while the first half of this game plays. Don't want to do too much in-depth management because it's against a user-based team. So I got rid of pre-roll ads so they don't play as soon as you show up. Shouldn't play an ad as soon as you show up, anyways. Uh-oh, AGF is winning already. I don't see way to make it less. Twitch Turbo. What's this? Oh, that's if people subscribe to something. Okay, that's not what I wanted to know about. Hmm. Yeah, I don't see it being more than most people. I don't see how that's really possible. It's currently set to 3 minutes every hour, which is basic default setting. I mean, it can be slightly lower, but then I absolutely get no revenue whatsoever from them. This doesn't really come up a lot because, I mean, and, not to say anything about it, but the majority of the people that do show up here are subscribers. So I don't know. They either have the Twitch Turbo or they subscribe directly to it, and that gets rid of ads, right? But if you're a person who watches a lot of streamers, that can be really, really, really difficult to do. But that's why they made Twitch Turbo, I think. I don't know. I didn't read about it, but I'm assuming that's what that means. So hopefully, I don't know. I don't feel like 3 minutes an hour is that bad. I've watched some people that are a hell of a lot more than that. If I turn it down from there, though, yeah, I get no revenue whatsoever from it. What's the point of having ads at all or being an affiliate at all if you're not going to make anything, right? That's logical, I hope. But I definitely don't have them more than others. I'm looking at this one graph they have here, and the average Twitch streamer that's an affiliate has 5 minutes per hour. I have three. So I don't think I'm doing too badly. Okay, we got some frustrated and anxious players. Tell them how horribly they played. Oh, my goal didn't even count? I thought I had tied it up. Yikes. I was excited when I last looked over. It was 1-1. You want to look? Yeah, go ahead. Go see what the settings are on. Yours and whatever the averages are, they're all there. Information is available. Okay, there's a tying goal that should count. Yes, it is. Very nice. Still going to demand more from this game. A draw would be very unsatisfactory. Now I'm at 64, so let's try to figure out who's playing badly. Borset's playing badly. God, Esmeralda again. Again. I mean, probably because he's on a high match load, and I shouldn't be pushing him when he's on a high match load, but seriously, I gotta get the. I need to play my best players. These are the dilemmas I was talking about. You can reach every once in a while. You have to make hard decisions. All right, there we go. Hopefully that will help us get a push towards a win. Okay, let's strongly consider a different approach. Because I want to take him out, but I don't want to use wingers if I do that. Oh, yeah. So you go into your dashboard, and then you want monetization and ads. There's a slider there. Yeah, no problem. Took me a minute to find it too. I didn't remember exactly where it was. Okay, so Sakers, you're going to play here. Angelo. Kotsia. That's for single. Whoops. Nope. It's for M. Put cards full there. Let's see. He's both tired and has a yellow card. Normally, I would take him off without hesitation, but he's one of my higher scoring ranking players this game. You clicked it off. So you get no revenue whatsoever from it. Oh no, that just made it so that they're not automatically happening. They'll still happen. It's not automatic. So what happens when you take it off of that is that you control when your ad comes on, or the other thing that happens there is that if you are absent for any amount of time, it will still play an ad. But that also means that you're always going to have pre-roll ads, which means people will have an ad as soon as they show up, stuff like that. Yeah, there's different settings, but understanding that you can't turn it off. But you probably have a lot less ads, but you're also going to get a lot less money. Depends on what you care about, right? Um, yeah, really, it's just about. I suppose it's just about priorities at that point. And I mean, I'm not in it to make money. I'm not. It's more of a hobby. But if they're going to send me some, fine. And I've really, like I said, I've really had very, very few complaints about my ads. But if I get more, I suppose I got to take it into consideration. But so far, it's been hasn't been a negative experience. Okay, well, see, and that's the thing. And I don't know. I don't have a ton of viewers, but I have a ton of subscribers. I guess I have a weird balance. It's because I stream at odd hours. I stream at extremely odd hours. You know, like there's nobody in the world is awake right now. Like I mean, you are, but there's very few. Like it takes late night people or people that are watching a stream at peculiar hours of the day, and those are the ones I get. I get a lot of those. What do you got? 1 a.m. Sorry. Yeah, you're awake right now, or you're watching the stream right now. There's not a lot of people who would be like looking at my time zone and then looking at the rest of the world's times. There's not that many people awake when I stream. 6 in the morning, exactly. Who's watching a stream at 6 in the morning? You are, but there's very few people watching it at that time. Like I know when the best times to do this is, but that's not why I'm doing it. Like I have a day job. Working on Football Manager isn't my main job. It's just one of the things I do. Um, but I don't work that much, because I get to be my own boss. Only accept ads for male pattern baldness and boner pills. If I could choose, I totally would. I would choose the most hilarious stuff and or the things that make people the most uncomfortable. Thanks, Wayne. That's a great suggestion. If they ever make that up to us, I'm all about it. But no, they so far we're not getting to choose which ads we get to play. But man, how fantastic would that be? Like, I'm only going to pick ads that are about a horrendously awful thing. I can't believe we just gave the ball away like that. We just gave the game away. It looks like. Shit. Do I earn good for being part of FM? Well, I mean, what's earning good? I don't know what earning good is. My direct employer is actually Sega Europe. Must know. And I don't just work on Football Manager, although that's my primary one and has been for 21 years. I also work on other things. I do a ton of testing for them. Like I had a heavy hand in testing for 2 Point Hospital, 2 Point Campus. Oh man, do endless dungeon games, stuff like that. I do a lot actually. All right, we just lost at home to AGF. Our title aspirations are pretty much poof. Hi, Martin. How's it going? I mean, no, it's not that I don't want to talk about it. It's just really difficult to simply explain. There's no simple explanation. Don't even know those games. Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. They're really popular games, but all right. I mean, I get it. You may not have heard of every single game. There's nothing wrong with that. You just woke up. Exactly. See, these are the people I get. People who are just waking up, people who are up late at night. But yeah, I stream at odd hours. That's the main reason I don't have a ton of viewers, but I'm good with that. To be honest, I did stream a few times during the the busier periods, and I had a ton of viewers. And I don't know how those guys keep up with their chat rooms. I don't. I like just having a few people chatting because that's social to me. But yeah, when you got like 40, even 30 people chatting in your chat room, most of them are just getting ignored. And I couldn't handle that. I don't like that. I'm not that social. You're rested for once. Hooray! Went to bed at 8 a.m., slept for solid 10 hours. Holy crap. That's a hell of a sleep. Yeah, maybe you're just catching up on a sleep debt. Hard to say, though, right? Lusk and Bach both need a rest. So I'm going to send them both for rest. Actually, right now, I might send every damn player for a rest if I can. No games coming up. This is like the perfect time to rest all of my players. I don't know why there's no games right now. Does it look like there's an international break? Is there? Oh, there might be. It hasn't shown it on the schedule yet. But I'm going to take advantage of this break and rest as many of these guys as I can because holy cow, they're all their legs are just falling off. And we don't want that. Can't sleep because your heart broke. I'm sorry to hear that. I understand. All been there. Can't eat, sleep, do anything. Even though I feel like not bored of FM. I mean, at least you have Football Manager, right? Football Manager's always there for you. I've been divorced twice, so I understand completely. Heartbreak is not fun. It's fucking awful. Check the news and I got happy. What was in the news that made you happy today? I'm actually excited to know. I was like, okay, maybe it'll be something that'll make me happy too. I got a cup game coming up with these guys, but I don't care. I'm going to rest most of my starters. None of them need to play in the cup game. Lingby has gotten through the Danish Polko Cup to the quarterfinals after 10 years. Wow, that is extremely good. Oh, yeah, you're in Denmark too. Look, both of you in Denmark. Get to meet a lot of people from Denmark playing this save, which is A-OK with me. So far, everybody that I've met from Denmark during this has been pretty cool. Hi, baby cat. Want something? Think you want your crunchies, do you? Just a moment here after I'm done sending all these players on holidays. I'm going to take a 2-minute break where I will run an ad because I can manually run an ad when I feel like it. That way, you don't have to put up with an ad when we're talking about something important. And then I'll feed my cat real quick. It doesn't take me more than 2 minutes, so it's pretty quick. Try not to miss me too much. Keeps playing the way they are. Eventually be a threat to the title in a few. I think so too. I know. You know, and the funny thing is playing this save, and because you got me interested in it as well, is I've actually been paying a little bit of attention to them. So they're in a pretty good spot. Although right now, look at this. I'm doing horribly this season. I've I don't know what the hell. My whole game's falling apart on me here. AGF is whooping us. That's Jacob's team. I know, and I'm running them. I've been trying to balance, the Champions League and the league a little bit too much, and I've had some really tough draws against teams I shouldn't have drawn against. I lost 2 games. I feel like I probably shouldn't have, but yeah, I am sitting 9 points back of AGF right now for the lead. I'm pretty sure they're going to win it. It seems almost a foregone conclusion right now. But I can't win the title every single year, I suppose. Oh, right? I know. The wheels fell off this season for them. You were here before when we put Jurgen Klopp as their manager, right? Well, he since left, and for whatever reason, they just suddenly don't know how to play anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of confused about them as well. They're having a really bad go of things right now. Like, look at this. Like, sure, they're losing to us. I get that, but because Michelin has beat them twice and they're up there. I mean, they're just having a tough, tough time. Yeah. I don't know. They were starting to go up a little bit more. They're only 3 points from the top six, to be fair, at this point. They have improved a little bit, and I expect that they'll get back into the top six. That Randers loss. Oh, dude, right? Okay, yeah. This is them right here. I mean, what can you say about this? It's tough for them. They're having a really bad time right now, which is unexpected because they're almost always right there, competing with us for second or third. Yep, they're having a hell of a time at the moment. I still think that they'll get into the top six before all is said and done, or will they? Is it done? Wait a minute. Do they even have a chance? 17 games. Oh yeah, there's still some games before the split. I think they'll still get up there. It remains to be seen, but we will find out soon enough. This is the perfect time to send some players out on holiday. At least I think it is. Try to get some of these injury risks down. Oliver Werner? Sec here. This starters, that's what I want. Pizzotti, Kaiser, Benefitez. Where's Pizzotti? Right. Kaiser. Where's Kaiser? There. Here. Let's see. Pessel doesn't need to go because I actually rotate him about. Gronerud, that's the other one. He's still injured. That's why I didn't notice him. Where is he at? Is it because he's injured? Oh, yeah. He's not training because he's injured, right? So I can't send him on holiday, which is silly. You think you could still send an injured guy on holiday? He would think that. You'd be wrong, but you would think that. You can't send injured players on holiday. How silly is that? No. City would go full riot mode. Yeah. Okay. I don't even know how to say that. Code Gooden? Something like that. Code Gooden? I don't know. Can't really tell me how to say it, but tell me how close I was. But yeah, he's a Copenhagen fan and is from Denmark, so I was hearing a little bit about how that they're doing badly isn't appreciated. And I get it. I'm sorry. I don't want them to do bad. I want everybody to do well. So I don't do it. Yeah, exactly. How silly is that? I can't send him on holiday because he's injured. Hmm. That doesn't seem right at all. It's a Danish name and it means meat god. Oh, you told me that before. I'm never going to remember that. I'd like to. I'm going to go ahead and just leave the standing, the league profile up here for you. Like I said, I'm going to go quickly, feed my kitty cats, come back. I can't run an ad because it's been too recently since one ran. Oh, ads. Why do you make me so sad? Well, I'll be quick. All right, I was more than 2 minutes, but that's because I went to the washroom as well. Sorry. Ah, what did I miss? It's a data series because I was going to say. But after you said something with holiday. Uh, uh, you know what I want you to do if you want to get a good laugh. I mean, and this will really drive home the point of what you guys are talking about. Listen to the song "New Age Girl" by Deadeye Dick. That'll give you a laugh. Hmm. Maybe you already know it. That'd be even funnier. You know that song? I can't play any songs while I'm doing this, unfortunately. I'd love to, or I'd just throw that song on right now for you and be like, here, check this out. You want me to write it? Sure, no problem. You know that song, Martin. Awesome. Awesome. That's okay. It's more for him. Hopefully he gets a laugh out of it. I hope to amuse you with it, if nothing else. Oh, this is my team. 2 days before the cup game. I will look for that later, although that seems to not be in English, so I won't understand it. Hopefully, there's like some translations in there. No, probably not. Can't imagine. It's a league game. Emil Ling is a striker? What the hell is wrong with you? Ender playing central mid. Okay. All right, I've got to change the formation for this match because I don't have enough players to play in those other positions. That seems better. Just a little bit. All right, now I'm going to go rest all of those guys for 2 days. Oh, we barely won that one. But a win's a win. I'm taking it. I don't care. Rest 2 days. Because I'm sure I'm going to need a bunch of those guys for this cup game that's coming up since I sent all my first team players on holiday. Another reason I like to control my reserve squad so I can pick and choose who plays and who doesn't. And I'll always remember to rest them after. Oh, it's weird. Oh, it's mid-season break. We're allowed to play a cup game in mid-season break, but we're not allowed to add trading. Interesting. Scouting meeting, Erling Haaland. They want us to sign Haaland. Yeah, if only I had that kind of money, no problem. I'll just go grab him right now. I love when your scouts recommend a player to you that you could never get, no matter how bad you wanted to. Like, this guy's pretty good. Have you heard of him? Yeah, maybe. Once or twice, I suppose. Financials. Look at how healthy these guys are financially now. I love it. Buyout clause, might as well. Yeah, the finances for these teams are starting to get really solid now that we're getting consistent continental football. You got it exactly. Yeah, they just recommended him to me. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's not going to come play in Denmark, no matter how good my team is. It's just a hunch. So who knows? We win a couple Champions Leagues, we get the reputation up. I suppose it could happen. It's not completely out of the question, just pretty close. Oh man, it's hard not to vote for. It's amazing to me. Pretty much all of the MVP players are AGF or Lingby players. The whole thing. I'm surprised there isn't any Northland players in here. Been doing really well. Norheim and you're watching chat more than I played. That's cool though. I mean, I appreciate you being here, if nothing else, right? So, and if you're even remotely entertained, that helps a lot. But yeah, like I said, I do it for the social, just to be social. Want me to make? Yeah, right. Not reducing his to the team. He is amazing. The fact he wants to keep staying at my team is nothing short of a miracle. Like, big teams have bid on him, and he never bitches about it. I always expect to be like, "Why didn't you let me go to Manchester United?" And I want to tell him because they suck. But he never complains that I don't let him go. So that's pretty cool. Oops, actually, what Kaiser here? Miss Kaiser, where? Oh, you can't pick him. Right, because he's on your team. Kotsia, Denkosh, and Borset. Pardon me. And Gift Links. Not on either of our. And Hugo Anderson. Yeah, he's at the top. It's alphabetical. Duh. Played one game since you joined. Oh, since you joined, like the stream tonight. Is that what you mean? Or like since you got FM24? I can't imagine that's the case. You're losing control of a game. So you're in a game right now, and you're losing. Is that what you're saying? First of all, make sure you pause it. You're ahead 2-1. Okay, what minute is it in? Good that you're winning. That's nice. 2-1 at halftime. I would probably point my finger at them and tell them they're not playing well enough. That would be my thing. Depends on how long you've been at the team and how good your reputation is with them, though. Okay, it's 2-1, but it's at halftime. So you're doing your halftime talk. No, I mean you're still winning. I don't know. I don't. It's hard to know without like being in the situation, but you're winning. It's halftime. It's not time to hit the panic button yet. It's a shame that they scored on you, but I think you'll be all right. This is a cup game. Get to put Peterson in. Yay! Which one can Steinlen play? Either. Oh, that's awesome. There for now. Rest of this out. Play Rasmussen. Jensen can start. I, I don't know. I haven't tweaked the Nightbot settings, so whatever the default is for that, it's hard to. I don't know what it will do. I cannot answer your inquiry. Oh, look, it posted it just fine. Yeah, I guess Nightbot didn't get mad this time. I don't have a third striker option again because Peterson's injured. Just one injury and it just sends the whole thing crashing down, doesn't it? All right, so that's my team going into this match. That's how it's going to be right there. Oh, I can't watch it right now, especially if it has volume, because it'll play through, and I don't want that right now. But I'll check it out in a bit. Then I have to set up Jeff. Oh, there'd be extra transfer funds available. I was just saying how good a financial situation they're in, and they gave us more transfer funds. So, neato. Don't know what they need though. That's the thing is they got tons of good players, like at every position. This team has such good depth. That's why they're winning. But yeah, like I don't even know where I could add a player here. Money is nice and all, but I might just throw it into the wage budget and give some people some raises. Ads. Damn ads. So here's AGF. I guess what they could use is another Probably central midfielder. Now that I'm looking at it. Yeah. Yep. I think another central midfielder would do them some good. Because I don't have one to put in for Norheim here. These are the games where I figure out what kind of depth we're lacking. What is needed? This guy's going to have to play. That means I don't have enough players to put on the bench. But I'm not looking at the B team here. All right, so this is the B team. Oh my gosh, I don't even know anybody on this team. Should be put in or not? Well, this is the guy we bought before. He should be on the senior squad. Can't use him because he's out on loan. That was part of the whole thing of buying him, is that they wouldn't sell him to me unless I let them loan him. Or they were going to want to buy a player to replace him, and they never do. Lazy like. Anders Brun, this guy's good. Casper Peterson should play. Sean Feller. Sure. Looks good. I mean, it doesn't look that great, but they should be fine. Tennessee needs to play. Which one of these? I should put Werner in there. Perfect. Well, not really, but it's good. It's as good as it needs to be for now. You play both wings? No, just right wing. Fair enough. Oh, these guys haven't played yet? Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised by that. Well, maybe they did before. Just didn't give them the new numbers this year or something. I don't know. Get out there and show the world you have what it takes. I guess that's inspirational. All right. This is already one of the slower games. Not a single replay in the first half so far. No talking points at all. That's what you get when you play a lot of backups in a cup game, though. Here we go. This is for us. Come on, Sagers. Pop it in. That's quite the distance. I didn't expect that to go in. I have seen a couple of those free kicks go in, though. And that's nice when they happen. One shot on target the entire first half between both teams. That's awful. And I'm sure that I don't need to tell you that. Figure that part out on your own. Okay. Already need to start making a couple of subs, do I? Oh, we've scored. Who was it? Martin Jensen. Good job, buddy. You have a whole week off? Yeah, so you got 7 days in between. I do. If I'm worried about losing anybody to injury, yeah, I'll rest them for the 6 days in between. I do that. count the days in between, rest them that many days immediately after the match, and then they won't get hurt in training. And I said, like I said, especially when you're playing 2 games a week, it's good to wrap them in bubble wrap. But yeah, even with a week off, if they're important games, absolutely. If I don't have a run of important games coming up and there's a week off, sometimes I just be like, I don't worry about it. But that's when those injuries will happen. This turned into a music sharing channel. I didn't mean for that to happen. That's not what I was trying to do. I just mentioned the one song because it was so friggin' relevant to the thing you were talking about. No, no, training is super important. Absolutely. Do not get me wrong. Super important. Training is amazing for your players, especially your younger players. But I mean, if your concern is that you don't want players to get hurt from training and they're playing, like I know that these 11 guys are going to play in 6 days, games are more important than training. Okay. So if it's an either or situation, especially with 2 games in a week, that's all they need to do. They do not need to train in between. They don't. It's not worth it, especially for injuries. If you got a guy who comes out of a game and you want to train him for a single day, okay, I got to go out of the game to show you. One, if you want to make some exceptions, okay? Immediately after a game, this is terrible. I don't have any games left. It's going to be hard to show you. But immediately after a game, usually you have, rest, recovery, and match review. You don't need to rest them for that day. They probably aren't going to get hurt doing rest, recovery, and match review. They shouldn't. How could they? So you maybe don't sit them for this day if you don't want to. If you have a day like that, But so I move to the next day and say I've got a game right here, right? Like I said, so I'll just sit them up for this one day. But that's only if they're not super tired. You got to look at their condition heart. Like this guy right here probably only needs one day off to get back to full condition. Right? I could give him one day off from here if I wanted to. But I usually just go for two so they don't get hurt, right? But with a whole week off, you can kind of pick and choose where you want to go. Like maybe you just want to go 1, 2, rest, rest, rest. Fewer injuries, still get a little bit of training in. Chopping it up like that can like reduce your injuries by a lot. But yeah, the guys who are playing regularly don't need to train as much. Training is still really important, and if you can afford to give them both, give them both. Both is better than neither. But also keep in mind that players don't play and train 7 days a week. So giving guys who are playing a day off of training every once in a while is great to do. Regardless, we just got scored on. Thought Jensen gave us a lead. Once again, it didn't count. Okay, I've got one shot on target out of 10 attempts. It's hurting my head. I am not going to stick with this tactic. Mm. Subbed him on. Oh my god, what am I going to do? I was hoping my team was still good enough to at least win this game. But I really don't have the ability to turn this one around with this particular tactic. Yikes. As soon as I put Kovac out, that's what happened. Put a 1-star guy in left. Yeah, and he definitely the one that gave up the goal. Well, I suppose I could this, then this. Let's try. I really want to take Steinlen out, but what do I put? Does he actually have a rating at striker? Oh my god, he does, and he's tall. Okay, I'm gonna put my, my central defender in at striker because it's the tall man tactic, and he's pretty tall. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? I lose? Oh well, I'm already kind of cruising my way towards that anyway. Ah, jeez. No, they bumped out of the tournament Like, these guys, these ones who stole a draw off me earlier this season too. My team is not playing well domestically. Doing freaking awesome in the Champions League, which is what my focus is. But yeah, domestically, we're playing like absolute garbage. It happens, I know, but wow, it's surprising, is what it is. How do you know if you have an extra good youth player? I mean, it's you kind of got to guess, rely on your scouts, instinct. Um, Pop them up on the screen. I'll try to help you with like, throw one up there. Jeppson. That's amazing, dude. Look at that. Oh, it's good stuff. All right. All hope is not lost. We got an extra time. And I'm still going to just tell them they're all terrible. Once we start getting shots on goal, it's not so bad, right? Okay, do we have an extra sub now that it's extra time? Do we get another? We do. We do. We do. Fun sound. We do. We do. We do. Who the hell would I even put on though? That's the thing. All I have is a couple central defenders and a midfielder I do not want to play. Okay, yeah. If they say it'd be next big star, that's cool. You know, like there's so many things that you can't know. It's hard, right? And I get that. Uh, but you know, I can show you a couple of the things you can look at to make your guess as educated as possible. Demand more. This is shit. Might go to penalties. And more. If this goes to penalties, it'll be the perfect time to look at your player because I don't even like watching penalties. There's shit you can do anyway. Nothing you can do about penalties. It's usually when I'm playing by myself, when there's penalties, I just get up, go to the bathroom, get a drink. I don't watch them. Can't do anything. Can't change nothing. Can't shout at them. Nothing. Penalties are sort of anticlimactic. Once you pick your takers, that's the end. It's in Danish. You can switch it in English. I mean, I'll just do my best with what's there. If I need it in English, I'll ask. But I mean, I know which attributes are what. So yeah, thing is better than him and him. Love how they put these guys in a certain order, but they're not actually in order. Good. All right, team talk. Pick your spot is what I like. Relax. Pick your spot. Don't change your mind. That's my favorite one. Great. Now let's go look at this. They're placed different in Danish. Really? It shouldn't be. Mm, okay. Well, a lot of them are exactly the same. So aggressiveness, anticipation, bravery, composure, concentration. No, they're in a different order. All right, you're right. They're in a different order. Why? Oh, you played with a different skin. That might be why. Yeah, I think it's because you have a different skin. But yeah, okay. I guess in English it would be a lot more helpful because, or I could just ask you which. No, not really. I want to do the best job reading it as I can. So, oh, hey, we won. Hey, see, that's why I don't watch. Like, why? I'm still going to tell them that they were awful. That was a let off. They agree. See, they know. They know. Most of the time, our players aren't stupid. Oh, look at this game with AGF had with their backups in. That's a barn burner. 6-4. All right, Copenhagen won, Michelin won, so the cup goes on. Oh, they are they? Okay. I mean, fair enough. I don't think I've ever really experimented with too many different languages on here. What with not knowing any other one fluently. I know being multilingual in Europe is just a normal thing, but not here. Okay, so right off the bat, he's got a 4 determination. Copenhagen needs. They need who? Is that a manager? This manager right here? You want him back at Copenhagen? Okay. The points are right there at the bottom. You want him at Copenhagen, go ahead and redeem the transfer player or transfer in the game, and I'll send him back. No problem. Oh wait, I don't have the editor. I'll have to use the I have an administrator dashboard. How do I do that without you guys seeing it? I have to turn the screen off really briefly to do it because I have to use something through SI games that I'm not actually allowed to show. That would only take a moment. Yeah, okay, so this guy's got 4 determination. So right off the bat, he's probably going to be kind of awful. I hate to say that. I mean, it's amazing that one attribute can do that. Oh, you don't quite have enough channel points? Well, I guess you'll have to save up. See, sorry, I can't make those exceptions. Novak makes professional debut. I figured you'd hung around here long enough to have enough points. Well, I'm sorry, Martin, but you'll get there. Definitely get there. So yeah, Shea Lacey looks pretty solid all around. At the moment, what is the personality? Do you have that here? Can you read the personality type? Media handling, media scroll. Oh, their personality is right there, balanced. I see it. Never mind. Never mind. It's right there. Player traits long as right wing. Yeah, the problem with this player is even if they have really high potential, and they should have, with a 4 determination, they'll probably only ever reach a fraction of it. And that's a problem. Determination is the number one most important attribute for development. You can get it to go well. Throw them in a mentoring group with guys who have really high determination and it will rise, but 4 is a really big deficit to try to crawl out of. Like I don't think they would ever rise more than 10 after a few years. He'll still be a good player if you play him a lot, but determination is such a huge deal when it comes to development. That's why I have my DNA here, see? And look at the players here. Like this guy's got 3 determination, so I don't play him much. But if you look up and down this, I've gotten rid of players who don't have high determination. I don't keep them. Middlesbrough, step up chase for Tui. I won't send I don't think they'd even play him. Who are their current wingers, these guys? I guess Tui's better than that guy. This guy is Pretty darn good. He's around the 140 mark. You don't have Amazon Prime, eh?
Heroes never die.
Oh, there you go, buddy. You don't have to watch any more ads because Martin is awesome. That's amazing, buddy. That's amazing. See that? That's crazy and awesome. This is why everyone likes you. Well, I mean, as far as I know. That's a really cool thing to do. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. He appreciates it. You make everybody happy in the situation. The fact that we appreciate it makes you happy. See, everyone wins. Yeah, ads suck. I'm glad you don't have to deal with them for a little while at least. Um, Awesome though. Yeah, would you sell him? That's the question you asked. No, no, I would not, and let me tell you why. Uh, because he'll be worth more after you develop him some. Now, if this is about development and playing him, if like you want to develop a player that's going to be in your first team, right? But let's see how he's still pretty raw as a talent, which you can use to your benefit. Um, how is his age? What's? I feel like I'm blind here. It's got to be on here, and I'm just missing it. Date of birth 16. Oh, he's only 16. Oh, okay. So you have a couple of options. You could throw him up on your first team, but make him available for your reserve squad. Okay, then you make sure he's in the starting lineup of your reserve squad as best as you can. I mean, obviously, you may not pick your reserve squad, but you can go into your reserve squad like so. Put guys in the right spots, right? Put them in there, and the AI manager will try to use them as best as they can. They will, or eliminate other players on that team that play in the same position as him, and he'll always play in the position he'll always play. Anyway, you can do lots of things to make sure he plays. Make sure he plays a lot on the reserves, but put him on your first team. And what you want to do is you're going to go here. You're going to go training, go mentoring. Okay, and you're going to make a group. Find guys who have high determination on your team, right? Like 2 or 3 of them, preferably guys that are a little older. Put them all in a group together. Okay, so you're going to create a group, and we're going to call this debt for determination. That's just what I'm calling it. Doesn't matter what you call it. You can call it wing nuts. I don't care. Find a couple of you guys who have good personality. Like these 3 are fucking model citizens. I got 3 model citizens on this team. Holy crap, Jacob! That's amazing. They're all 16. Got teenage model citizens on this team. Oh, fucking guy. Anyway, they're not going to stay there because they're not first teamers. But you throw them all in a group like this. So what you want to look at right here. Sorry, I got to get this back. So reserves is under 21s. My apologies. Under 21s is your reserve squad. So yeah, you're next tier down. Make available for under 21s, but keep them on your first team. Find a group with some guys with high determination. Okay, 2 or 3 of them, preferably veterans. But what you're going to watch for is right here under estimated influence on group. You want guys that are significant or average. Okay. Now, an estimated effect from group, that guy, your kid, he's going to be significant. He's going to really absorb from those guys with high determination. All right. Make a nice little group out of them like that. His determination will go up. It will naturally through a mentoring group. The guys with if you put 3 guys in there with 18 determination, he's at 4. In a couple of years, he'll probably get up to like 8 or 9, which is still that's a significant boost from 4. 4 is horrible, and it'll damage his development a lot. But playing for just the under 21s is okay. Buy guys with good personalities only if you're going to play them, because they need to be first teamers. Okay, they can't be guys that sit in your under 21s, and you really don't want guys who are being unhappy mentoring a group. Their effectiveness is not as good. And then, of course, because if you put them in mentoring groups together, they also end up in freaking social groups together, right? And if one guy in a social group gets mad, they all do. So yeah, no. Um, Try to reserve for only really good players. So yeah, like I said, you want a good DNA on your team. That's why I have this view here. It's called my DNA view. These are the things I like to get reasonably high for most players, but determination is number one. There is no substitution for high determination. Like this is Jacob's team, so he's still got some reserves on here that are really low determination. I would have gotten rid of all of them longer, and I will now that I'm running the team. I'll slowly and incrementally do that. But yeah, I don't even hang on to guys normally. But for a guy like this, super high potential, I have hung on to guys like that. And what I do is I mentor them with high determination guys on my first team, but let them play for my reserve squad. Give him some bench appearances in cups. Throw him on for the last 15 minutes of a game. Make sure he gets 15 minutes at least, because you get a good rating, a development rating after 15 minutes in a match. So try to get him out there by 75. Even if it's a titch over, it's fine because there's extra time and it counts. But yeah, try to make sure they get 15 minutes in a match because that matters. But aside from that, sub him on, let him play the U21s. By the time he's old enough to have developed his determination to like 8 or 9, try to make that your target, 8 or 9. Then he will have more fulfilled promise, and he'll still be young enough that at that point his value should go way up, especially since it's Man United. Like players are artificially inflated on a team like that. His value should go up high enough that a team will want to buy him for his potential, even though he'll probably never reach it because of his low determination. The AI doesn't know that. Uh, so yeah, overall, that would be my strategy with him if it was me. But you can take any route you want. If somebody comes in and offers you, a few million for him and you think it's good, get a future sale clauses with, like, always put future sale clauses into sales if you can. Like 40% of next sale, not profit of next sale, but next sale. Like they often put on 20% from the profit of the next sale. Like, I don't want from the profit. I want the total of the sale. So I take that off and put in 20% of next sale because that's worth way more, right? Try to always put those in if you want to make a lot of money. I mean, you're Man United, you don't have to worry about that. But it's a great tip for people playing in lower teams. Future sale profits are amazing. Right now, he's valued 17 to 27 euro. See, that's really good because he's got super high potential. But if you use the strategy I just gave you, you could probably boost him up to at least 50 mil within 2 seasons. At least, probably more within 2 seasons. And he doesn't have to necessarily affect your first team too much, right? Yeah, that's a great way to boost him up. And you know what? His determination may just fly right up. It has been known to happen. It really depends on a lot of his other attributes that you can't see. His ambition and professionalism are the biggest factors on how fast his determination will go up from mentorship. You can't see those attributes, so that's a little sad. But you want those to be higher. Um, his personality type is balanced, so that tells me with low determination that he probably has decent ambition and professionalism and even adaptability. So that's good. So if he flies up to 10, maybe even to 12 determination, at that point you might look at him and go, okay, maybe I do want to keep this guy and make him a first teamer. How many groups should you have? It's not about a should you have. It's like what you're trying to accomplish. Like I know a lot of people do these automatically. Don't do them automatically. The AI is really bad at deciding what should go in there. So let me go ahead and show you how I can answer your question. So I got to do something quick first. Realize he wasn't on my depth chart. So yeah, groups, mentoring groups. This is one where I was trying to do exactly what I'm talking about. This was all about at the beginning. This was all about Yannick Peterson. Okay, his personality. When I started with this guy, his determination was 11. Okay, it's 18 now. I threw him in a group with a bunch of guys who have really high determination, a couple of model citizens. Those help. If you can get model citizens, especially, like these guys were in mentoring groups with, I got one model citizen. I put these guys in a mentoring group with them and they all improved so much that they are also now model citizens. I love when that happens. It's just the most amazing thing. So the effect from group, all of these guys were boosting him. And then I kind of threw in a couple other guys because I wanted to create a social group out of them. See, and they're starting to. The three of them are core, and a bunch of them are secondary, but we'll eventually get to core. I also want them to formulate a social group because these are some of my players that are important now and important for the future. You have Johnny Evans. Awesome. That's going to be definitely one of the guys you put in to mentor that kid, right? You have to have at least 3 players in a mentoring group, but I like to put 4 if I can afford it. Like one young guy like Peterson here, and then originally I just had Angelo Zakers and Stein in here. threw these guys in because they can also have, but they're not going to get anything from the group, which is okay. These won't drop because nobody else can influence them negatively. See that? That's important because you can throw a model citizen into a group, and if they're absorbing, even an average from a professional like this, some of their traits can go down. That's horrible. You don't want that. Originally, this guy had no influence on the rest of the group, but he's gotten older. I've been doing this for 3 seasons with him now. Now he's determined. When I started, he had 11 determination. Now he's up to 18. I only have the one group right now. I mean, sometimes I'll throw another group there. Really, it comes down to what you want to accomplish and how you want to use it. Like you got to be careful with mentoring groups. Some people just go in here and hit ask assistant. Don't do that. Oh my god, it's terrible. He'll just randomly throw people together that, like, yes, the veteran player could influence the younger player, but what if that veteran player has a PPM of argues with officials? Do you really want your young player learning that? You don't. But the AI doesn't take that into consideration. How do you know about their potential? I mean, it's just the stars right here, right? Like that's all you have. What else is there? And then you gotta look at the reports and figure out things from here. But for me, to know that a guy is going to be decent, I like to see a good young player. Like this is a good example. I mean, shit, I clicked on him. It's a great example. I like to see a good young player have decent physicals. Like they don't have to be off the charts, but I know he's a center back. For me, the first thing I look at for a center back, I look at his height. Yeah, that matters. 6'4". Okay, good. So he's going to have a good jumping reach, 15. Good heading. It's at 12 right now. It should improve, but he's going to win balls in the air. That's what I care about. Honestly, that's it for center backs for me. That's almost it. I like to see more well-rounded physicals after that. You like to have decent mentals. Honestly, the least important part is technicals. It is when they're young. These fill in faster than these or these. So you want to have good physicals from the start. Go back to that guy you showed me. I'm sorry, I looked at his determination and instantly went, nah. But I shouldn't do that. We can turn him into something great with time and effort. So let's see. He's going to be a right winger. That's good. He has decent physicals. Yeah, his physicals are all right. Like he can't jump, but you don't need your winger to be jumping. His strength is not ideal, but I mean, this guy isn't going to be running around trying to tackle anybody. He's got one marking, two tackling. This guy's an all-out attacker, right? I wouldn't even bother trying to make him more well-rounded. I wouldn't bother. It's not worth it. He's going to be an attacker. Let him be an attacker. Uh, what your tactic is when you showed me attacking inside forwards on the wing, right? I think that's what you showed me. Yes. Okay. Cool. So you want to go up to the top here. Go to development. Go to training. Okay, like this. I don't want to do. Obviously, I don't want to train him like that. So I'm going to use Jensen because I'm going to show you he's already got it. All right. So I use inverted wingers on attack. Okay. He didn't used to have a rating here until I started training him in it. This is the same guy I was mentoring. Oh no, it's a different one. Sorry, he has got 50. But yeah, you go to his specific role. Your guy's going to be AM right, inside forward, attack. Train him just like that. Make sure he specializes in that role. You don't want him to be on, playing position or anything basic. Don't give him an additional focus. He doesn't need one. Sometimes an additional focus is good, but it does limit which attributes a player will train over a certain period of time. If you want to know more about this stuff, I can tell you more about that stuff. Yeah, train him just exclusively as an inside forward, right wing. Let him train like that. He will be, because you don't care if he ever plays for you, but if he does, I mean, he's going to be an offensive dynamo. It's going to be good. Yep. And his intensity level should be on automatic. Every one of your players should always be an automatic. And then if you want to know where to change automatic, it's right here. It's under the rest tab. It's up here. Okay. Depending on how tired they are, their training will be adjusted. Does this all make sense? This is pretty easy stuff right here. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you to take over the whole training thing. I know you don't want to do that, and that's okay. For that player, though, if you were doing, staff, it's going to pop up and say, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And be like, "Yes, just for this player, all the time. Not for just this one time. Just yes, for this player, I want to do his training forever. Just leave it there. Just leave it on that. Inside forward attack forever. And he's just going to train like that. And those highlighted attributes, he's going to almost always just exclusively focus on those. So he's not going to try to be a well-rounded player, which is good. You don't want him to be because with one tackling, what was it? Yeah, I think it was one marking and two tackling or something. You don't want him to try to become a tackler or a defending player. You don't want him to be well-rounded because he's only going to go up like 4 or 5 points in those things. It's not worth it because you're using up current ability points. That has a cap. So you want to make sure that those ability points are going to the things you want them to go in. Some players you want to be well rounded. For the vast majority of my young players, I don't specialize their training. I don't because I'm perfectly fine with them being well rounded at the start. These are my guys that are playing. This guy's a good young defender. I'm not going to specialize him, even though I know I play exclusively ball playing defenders on defense. I'm not going to do that. And the reason being, if I do that, he's only going to focus on these things mostly. I mean, other things still can go up a little, but I do want his agility to improve. I want him to be able to. I don't know what else I want him to go up on. Honestly, I don't. But I want him to be more well rounded because none of his attributes are awful. None of them are terrible except for maybe finishing and long throws. But I don't know why I need my central defender doing those things. I really don't. But yeah, keeping him well rounded is okay with me. And I never added additional focus unless I was to say, look at this guy. He's got good attributes everywhere, but his first touch is just terrible, and his passing is just terrible, and he's supposed to be a ball playing defender. Okay, so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to do his passing, right? And now he's going to do passing, technique, vision. Vision and passing are both pretty low, so maybe actually I leave that there for a while. He will get a lot better in these little spaces in a quicker amount of time at the cost of everything else going slower. This guy right here is going to be pretty good. Yeah, it's honestly, I have some pretty decent. I like that he plays all these positions. He was like this when I got him. I'm like, oh, that's a versatile player. This guy could be a really good ball winner in the future, right? Throw him in DM as a ball winner. Oh, he's supposed to be a good halfback. That's hilarious. Yeah, throw him in like that. Look at that. He's ready to do that. He could do that on my first team right now. He's already pretty good. I mean, his physicals need to improve some, but he's only 18. Yeah, that's why I bought him. I think I paid a bunch. No, I got him for free. I got that guy for free. Score. Sometimes that happens. Like you just raid somebody's youth academy. So, oh, you didn't sign this guy? He looks pretty awesome. Love it. South American teams often do that, though. They just completely overlook their own players. And when you can find the odd gem, it's worth it. You don't always find good players, but when you do, it's nice. And Rodrigo on AGF. This guy looks like he could be decent. Jacob grabbed this guy last season, and I love his physicals right off the bat for a 21-year-old wingback. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of setting your own principle on what you want from your players, how you want them to look in the end to fit your tactic. That's how I love doing it. I love training my young players to play the tactic I know I'm going to play. Although I'm funny because if you've ever watched me for a long period of time on here, I just end up changing my tactic every few seasons just to challenge myself. I don't stick with the same one for long. You like finding youth players before everyone else? Yeah, that's fun, eh? It's awesome. Hey, look, man, an ad's playing. It's not going to bother you. Fun times. Yep. Taking over more and more control of the game incrementally can really start to feel pretty liberating. Like I refuse to do press conferences. I'll never do them. They're just stupid to me. They're repetitive and redundant. I won't do those. But doing your own training is great. You forgot when you get your youth players. What do you mean? It's random now. It's never on the same day. At Man United. It's within a certain time frame. So like March and April are the most likely months in England. but there's no set day anymore. Yeah, it is now. It's random now because it was always on a certain day, a static day for every team in the country before. But then you could just walk into everybody else's, youth academies and poach players. Now you don't know when they're going to get them. Nope, not anymore. Yeah, we changed it. Sorry, it wasn't my decision. Obviously, other people changed it because there was unrealistic to just poach everybody's youth players. Now there's two things that were changed. The first being youth players are less likely to sign elsewhere right away. They usually take at least a year before they're even consider leaving the academy they came through, which is somewhat realistic. And then the second thing being that they're not on a static day. They're spread out over 2 whole months. So unless you're checking every team day by day, you're not going to know when they get their youth academies. Fun times, right? Yeah, I know they made it harder. It's like it was so nice before. Like, oh, Man United. Brendan Rodgers is coaching Man United right here. He wants to sign Borset. No. Man United cannot have Borset. Sorry. And the best won't sign with me. Well, you just got to find some obscure players, I guess. I mean, how do you get better youth intakes? Okay, no problem. I can tell you all about that. It's never going to be a guarantee, okay? Because nothing is ever 100% guaranteed with youth intakes. However, step one is your facilities. I think you know about that one. That one's pretty straightforward, right? You know about getting your facilities up. So you want your junior coaching to be high. You want your youth recruitment to be high. Every time you get an opportunity to increase those things, you check your finance and be like, I got some money. I'm gonna actually, holy shit, I've got some money. I should actually probably do that with these teams. One moment, please. Take my own advice, huh? Networking. Is AGF already completely boosted? I hate having this skin because it doesn't tell me what my stuff is at, and I think that's silly that you can't know the ratings of teams' facilities because you should. No, AGF can't be boosted. I'm quite sure that their youth facilities aren't all the way boosted, but I just don't think I can ask yet. Yeah, I probably asked too recently. It's okay. Facilities is step one. Casino. Right. But that's the simplest step. Okay. After that one, you're just like, yeah, whatever. I know that one. I know you do. That's fine. So now we're going to talk about your head of youth development. This matters a lot. This guy's, crazy important to what you're going to get. Your team's reputation is a big deal too. Obviously, the higher the reputation your team is. So it's a combination of a mathematical formula, and without giving away too much about the underlying things that I'm not really supposed to tell you. So there's a National Youth Academy rating. All right, you're playing in England. England's actually got a surprisingly low Youth Academy rating. The British don't have the best young players in the world. Theirs is actually quite low compared to a lot of places. However, it's balanced and offset by the higher reputation of their league and the individual teams. So that's why they can still get very good players in spite of their youth rating. So there's a combination of your team's reputation, your league's reputation, and your youth rating will decide your chances at higher quality players. Right? Then you have your head of youth development. So the players he brings in are most likely going to fit his preferred formation. So if you wonder why the hell am I getting wingers when my tactic doesn't use wingers, as an example, it's because his preferred formation has wingers. He still might bring in the odd winger. That breaks my head. I've always been mad about that. I've constantly bitched and complained about it. It's like, stop sending me players I don't use. But you know what? I just loan those players out, or whatever I can to develop them elsewhere and sell them on, unless they're garbage, and then I just cut them. But I never cut any youth players anymore. Now I just sign all of my youth candidates, all of them. I just sign every one of them. Because the thing is that the guy can come in as 1.5 stars on day one, and then you can throw him on your youth team and wait like a week, and suddenly he's 3 stars. You're like, well, where did that come from? And it's simple. You just read him wrong the first time or the second time or whatever. Okay, it's not just your formation though. His personality matters a ton. Okay, you want a good personality on here. And the reason AGF, as you saw before, I showed you, this is Jacob's team. The reason they had so many model citizens is because before he had this guy, he had a guy that had a model citizen personality, and increases the chances of the players you're bringing in having that. Have a technical director or loan manager do those things. Save money. Sebastian Pate. This is who you got. Not too many things came up like that. Spell it right? I don't. I spelled it. He's not in here. Sebastian, usual spelling, Pate. He's not in this game. Of course, you got to remember, I started this in FM23 at the start. So was he there last year? Okay. How to get development free? He probably won't be anymore, or at least there's a chance. And also, we don't have this league loaded. Yeah, we don't have that league loaded. So the only staff they have is a chairperson. He wouldn't have been loaded into this because we don't have Argentina loaded. Yeah, I don't need a picture of him. It's all right. I'm sure he's good, but he's not available in my game. Yeah, we don't have Argentina loaded. That's why I say the database is massive. You can't comprehend playing with the whole thing. It's just sometimes things won't be available because you haven't loaded. Trying to load everything is too much for any computer to handle. He is perfectionist, which is all right. Yeah, model citizen is the best, the best. Nothing better than model citizen. But perfectionist is quite good. Trying to remember the combination. Perfectionist is high determination, high ambition, but low professionalism. Of the three major attributes, the three big ones. Can't find a real manager with model citizen. Yeah, I think they've all been scaled out. They were like too OP. They will happen as time goes on. As players turn into managers, you'll have them. But yeah, I don't think. Wait, isn't Klopp model citizen? Jurgen Klopp's a model citizen. That's right. Uh, I don't remember what the hell Pep is. Model professional, which is very good, but not model citizen. Yeah, Jurgen Klopp's model citizen. Trying to think. I think there's like just a really small handful of them. Because let's face it, in real life, there's not that many. I'm curious what Mourinho is. I know he's not, but yeah, he's driven. That sounds right for him. Yeah. Yeah, but Jurgen Klopp, I think, is one of the only model citizen managers. I know there's others. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. It's one of those things I could ask about. But yeah, it's but manager personality won't affect your youth intakes. Just your head of youth development. Try not to stress yourself over that. Best three in order? Model citizen, model professional. Damn it, I need to see them all. It's probably perfectionist is the third one. That would be my. I have an unambitious player. That's bad. I should probably be a mentoring group to fix him. Mentoring group 2. This is what happens when I play the game and I'm not paying very close attention to things. I get too chatty and I lose track of important shit like this. You know, lots of model citizens popping if you write formula on here. Look at that. I got so many. 6. How the hell did I get that many? 6 model citizens and this guy. He'll be a model citizen within 2 years. It's just that easy. Inside of 2 years, probably less than. But once you start trickling down model citizens, your team gets a lot better as well. Personality types. Mentoring can be very powerful if you use it in this way. Little OP, in my opinion. I never say anything about that. I like using it. They're not getting Pizzotti. He's not for sale. Get out of here. Oh, there's a transfer window coming up. That's why all this shit's starting. I hate transfer windows. I have to sit here and reject 10,000 offers and hope my board doesn't step in and force me to accept one. I really hate it when that happens. Wait, they just lowered all my staff limits? Why? That makes no gosh darn sense, you guys. I must have taken a oh, it's this, I took a reputation hit because I'm second. So my reputation probably marginally went down and I lost some staff slots. Well, on the bright side, it gets a lot easier from here for me to win games. Well, take the good with the bad, I suppose. Perfectionist is not number 2. Let me look. I don't want to say that with the utmost confidence. Because maybe it is. I know Model Citizen is the best. That part I know. 7 hidden attributes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, this isn't in order, but it's all the positive personalities. Model citizen, model professional, perfectionist, resolute, professional, fairly professional, spirited, very ambitious, ambitious, driven, determined. This is an alphabetical. No, it's not alphabetical. But I know that very ambitious and then ambitious, I know those are further apart in the actual determined list. So this isn't in order. Neutral personalities, negative personalities. Yeah, the only thing that this says we can be assured of is that model citizen is the top one, the epitome of professionalism. Always with the super high hidden attributes. Okay, this tells you how you get a personality, which attributes to look at, but you can't look at your hidden ones. It helped Ronaldo to be like that? To be a perfectionist, you mean? Is Ronaldo a perfectionist? Certainly not a model citizen. He's a bit of an asshole. Perfectionist, aka the stubborn twat. That's awesome. What a great descriptor. That's an awesome description. Uh, Perfectionist, aka the stubborn twat. Uh, Perfectionist is the third best personality in the game, depending on your argument, though, because that's the thing. A perfectionist is a guy who's going to train super hard. but he's not going to have a personality that you want to get along with all the time. I mean, arguably, model professional is better than perfectionist, but they both have kind of like offsetting uh, personality traits. So I don't know. I guess it's a preference thing, I suppose. At that point, you can roll the dice. There's two A and two B. How's that sound? I think that's a reasonable way to put it. So I don't think there's a static way to determine which of those things is better. I like professionalism more. So maybe I'm just being biased. In fact, let's just go with that. I'm just being biased. So yeah, we'll call it 2A and 2B. That seems like a reasonable place to put that. I mean, I'm glad you got me thinking about it. It's one of those things that I probably hadn't put this much thought into before. So yeah, it's nice to kind of debate about it. I mean, it's not really debate. It's nice to roll it around though and be like, let's consider this from all angles. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Perfectionist is probably going to be, depending on your values, just as good as model professional. But model citizen is always the top because it's the best of everything. Every one of the attributes that matters is high. So on that we can agree. All right, who am I about to play? Carbag football. Oh, that's it. That's AGF. I play a Belgium club. Okay, Genk. I know who they are. Okay. So how important is working with youngsters and the two judging players for who? For whom? Coaches? I mean, I'll show you what I put in for coaches. Man United chase Angelo. Man United's been after Angelo every single window for as long as I've been playing this game almost. Head of youth. The judgment parts are uh, okay, here you go. So those are the highlighted ones, right? How important are they? Well, they are the three most important attributes according to this. I mean, I argue the preferred formation and personality are more important. I put those slightly above, but I want all of these things to be well rounded. So yeah, I want a good working with youngsters and good on these things. I want this to be something that I use. I hired this guy when I was using a diamond. I haven't changed it since. That's okay though. But yeah, he's got a sporting personality. I probably could have upgraded this guy before now. I just haven't because he hasn't really got me a shitty youth pull yet. Like I've had decent players in every single one. I can't say I've had, no, I can. I've had at least two world beaters come through my youth ranks. All right, this guy hasn't fucked up enough for me to want to fire him. How's that? Simple? It is. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I could hire somebody better than him now. Let's go look. Okay, so I've already got my filters here. I'm going to pop in head of youth development, which automatically puts these things up. Look at all the head of youth developments I can hire. Let's go even higher with this. All 16s? All 17s? Oh my God. All 18s? Okay, there's only three guys that are all 18s. Okay, let's check them out. We got a resolute player with 442. No thanks. We got a resolute guy with 433 DM wide. That's the exact formation I play. And then we have a resolute player with 433 DM wide. So again, so 20, 18, 18. And then this guy is 19, 19, 18. Oh my God. We have the exact same average. That's incredible. All right, just for you. Just for you, I'm going to upgrade my head of youth development. I mean, I'm probably going to get the shittiest youth intake in the world because I'm doing this, but let's try it. What personality do you set? Second preferred formation is fine. Like it'll be kind of a mixture between these, but usually it's mostly preferred formation. Not a big deal. What's the worst that'll happen? You get a player or two that you don't have the ideal position for. Retrain them. Just retrain them. Like I had too many central midfielders. That's why I trained this guy to be a left winger. He didn't have a rating there when I got him. I just put him on left wing training and then slapped him onto my B team as a left winger. And so I guess Peterson's there now because I just trained him as a left winger. He also didn't have a rating when I got him. Yeah. Just retrain the guys. If you don't if you look at them and be like, "Huh, this guy's attributes are pretty good. I'd like to keep him, but I don't have a spot for him in midfield. I can just retrain him as a left winger." Say you get a guy who plays left midfield, and that's all he plays, but you don't use that, but you use left winger. Just retrain him as a left winger. Train him as a central midfielder. Train him as something you want to use based on the attributes he has. That's not that hard to do, especially if they have good adaptability, which you can't see. Adaptability is not there, but if you could look at their personality, this guy's resilient. Resilient means he has super high adaptability. There you go. I mean, that one was a good example because he was easy. Peterson's determined, so determination is good. Obviously, that's going to mean that he develops well. But if he lacked, sorry, I had a brain moment. If he lacked adaptability, then he wouldn't be determined. He'd be resolute. No, something lower. He'd be something different. I can't remember them all off the top of my head again. But determined is good. We know determined is good. He's going to be able to retrain a position. The higher the adaptability, the faster they'll learn a new position. But almost any player could learn a new position depending. If like say if this guy's got four determination, four adaptability, just four, right? And I want to retrain him as an attacking central midfielder, probably won't happen. He may never get it. But that's because it's a really far departure from the position I'm trying to trade him. But even with a four adaptability, if I want to retrain him as a left defender, he'll eventually get it. It might just take a while. No big deal. Just play him there a lot and train him there. Playing them in the position makes it go even quicker. Can I choose in my search just to get the formation I play? Choose in your search? Searching in here? You like this? Hmm. Um Sadly, I think this is limited. Like, yeah, you can. So here's my formation. There's my formation. Right? So yeah, that's only going to show me players for that formation. I honestly never do that because I just prefer to just look for individual positions one at a time. I'm kind of picky that way. Maybe even a bit nuts. Yeah, like for me, if I'm going here, I'm like, I just want to find a striker. Then I'll only put in striker. Oh, I don't want to save that search. Get out of here. Oh well, whatever. I don't see what. See, I'll only look for one position at a time if I can help it. Although I should have my age range on. Yeah, 15 to 20. Let's go up to 23. Let's sort them by recommendation. Oh, they already are. Who looks good? So I've got my DNA right there. Right off the bat, I know I don't want him. He's got 10 determination and he's 23. I'll never get his determination up probably higher than 11 or 12. And at this point, if I want a star striker, he's never going to have that low a determination. This guy right here, oh, he jumps right off the page at me. Atletico, he's 20. He has 60 determination. His other DNA stats that I like are really good. Damn, this guy good. He's like, it's advanced for. This guy's like 170 overall already at 20. Holy shit, this guy's good. Motherfucker. I would never be able to get him. I don't have 105 million sitting around. I got 30. You want a filter? I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you mean. The filter right here is just edit search in the top right, and you just put in whatever you like. Oh, you want the screen? You mean you want the screen? Is that what you're talking about? You want my scouting overview DNA? I have so many screens, so many. The screen. Currently, I. Oh wait, I could just send it. You know what? You have Discord, right? I assume you have Discord. Most human beings have Discord now. You're the only one active in the chat room right now, so I'm not going to worry too much. But that's for you. Just click there. That'll make it a little bit easier for me to send it to you. Whoa, I don't know what I just opened there. I didn't do whatever it was. Yeah, that'll make things a lot easier. Ba-dum, ba-da, bum, ba-dum, ba-da. Dun, da-da, da-da, da, da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da. Oh, and you've even got it linked to your Twitch. Made it even easier to find you. Look at you, just an overachiever. Thank you for making this so simple. Okay, so views. This one was the Scouting Overview DNA. I have a lot of different views, but you're probably going to want a couple of these. Here is Scouting Overview DNA. If you're going to use that, I highly recommend having this one, Team View, which is this. And go ahead and start with those. If there's other ones that you see that you want, I have them. If you need help on importing them, let me know. I can show you. I'm sure you know how, but if you don't, I don't mind helping you figure it out. Yeah, easier if you're in my Discord. But now that you're a subscriber, I can invite you to it. Because I made that my rule. Like, I only invite people to my Discord if they're a subscriber. Because I ended up with way too many people in there that were just it was chaos. It was super chaos. I had to get rid of so many people. Too many turds. You know how it is? The internet's full of turds. For the longest while, I just made it open to everyone, but no, it's not a good idea. I have learned my lesson the hard way. No, you won't get deleted if you're not a sub anymore. Just don't be an asshole. I guess it's like, oh, that's all I can ask. No, I won't delete you if your sub runs out. I understand. Yeah, so you want to go, okay, so you want me to show you how to use the filter? No problem. So you're going to go to Scouting, Players, okay? And then up here, you're going to go to Custom and Import View, okay? Then you want to hit on Scouting Overview DNA. And then it will make all of this look like this. Did you catch all of that? I can do it again, or I can even do it slower if you need. No, it's fine. Take your time. Take your time. The whole reason I stream to begin with was to help people with stuff. Do you need to close the game? No, you don't need to close the game. Oh, you have to put them in which folder to put them in. No problem. Yes, the view folder. I thought you said view filter. You're right. View folder. Yes. So you go to your document, Sports Interactive, Football Manager 2024, views. Drop them in the views folder. I misunderstood because you wrote filter and my brain didn't connect. But yes, that's the exact right folder. One second. I'm going to grab another drink while you're doing that. That was as much my misunderstanding as it is yours. You do not need to close the game to use these, though. Not at all. Go ahead and click through a little bit more while I'm waiting. Tell me when you This is my team. Comecchio is suspended. Oh no. Good thing I have excellent backups. Get in there, Gamba. I'm gonna put who do I bring onto the bench? Rasmussen. Good opportunity to play him. It works. It's alive. Good. I'm glad you got that to work. And then you know how to do the team screen one? Like when you're here, squad, you go up here, you go to custom, import view, grab the DNA view. This one's pretty big. It may not fit completely on your screen. I have a wide screen, so I hope it all fits. I hope it all fits for you. Is my main worry. I mean, you'll see most of the most important shit. Sometimes you gotta scroll over to the right to see some of it. So be it. It's not the end of the world. Okay, I want to stick with this team, or do I want to play Gokotsi? I think I do. Kagrad's on heavy match load, and he hasn't been performing as well. So I think it's time for Ander to start taking the reins, as it were. All right, what do we got here? Nordsland is playing away to a Swedish team. Beat those guys, right? Danes like it when we beat the Swedes. Is that correct? I'm pretty sure that's correct. Got a small screen? Well, you can probably still see a bunch of it, right? I hope you can still see most of it. Concede to playing time. Okay. Oh, that's not bad. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you need to, like move things in, squish it in just a little bit more, right? Go up here and you kind of grab them like this. All right. You can slide them. Now, if anything gets too far apart and okay, for example, I'll show you because this can happen. Say that gets squished in like this and you can't read stuff. Hover over this spot and double click, and it'll turn it back to a regular sized column. So don't be afraid to mess around with these a little bit. They will frustrate you. They will. They always do. But yeah, if you want to squish stuff in a little bit so you can see it better, by all means, go ahead. Sometimes that's the solution. But if it drives you nuts, don't bother. Oh, geez, he's suspended. Okay. Well, I mean, don't blame him. Missing a player on 12. Why you do this to me? Who's AGF playing? Oh, team from Azerbaijan. Okay. I don't know if I need to make any changes for this game. We don't play again for a long time, so just go ahead and the starting team. Yeah, I have a really big screen, like widescreen, 3440. You need to sleep? All right, well, have a really good sleep. Thanks for hanging out. Hope to see you again next time. I'll be playing FM on Mondays and Wednesdays. I play other games in between. If you want to hang out for those, you're always welcome to. But I don't only play this. I think it's as good a time as any for me to go ahead and play my solo game anyway. Pretty productive day. After this game, I think I can call it a night myself. Hey, that sounds great. And, you're welcome to. So. Have a really great sleep. Shit. Jansen got hurt. Uh, but he's on low match loads. They didn't have high injury risk, but they still take him out like a bunch of chumps. Anyways, Juventus is beating Barcelona. And Steinen's hurt. What the hell, you guys? Both of my central midfielders injured inside of the first half. Throw in, that should have been a penalty. What would I say about Hector Fort? I mean, I'm a few seasons in here, so plus this is from FM 23 database. You know, several seasons in. Uh, he's 21 now. Definitely right back. Math this better. It's like 110 to 15 overall. I don't have scouting on him. No, so I don't have a clue what his potential is. I mean, in this particular game, but again, this is an FM23 database, a few seasons in, I wouldn't buy him. But I don't know. He could be better. I haven't seen him in our database this season at all, so I don't know. I could ask somebody if you really need to know. I could find out what his current ability and potential ability is. Wouldn't be hard to do. I'm just going to tell them that I'm far from pleased because that is the truth. Steinen is hurt, so I got to get him off. I can't believe this. He wants to stay on. I mean, I don't blame him. Looks good. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's much better in this database. Plus, he may not have a static potential ability. In here, he hasn't developed very well, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. He might have just had a really bad development phase. Like maybe the team he was on wasn't playing him enough. There's all kinds of things that could have happened. So yeah, my current game state is not the best way to judge players, um, unfortunately. So you know what? He could turn out great for you, even if he's not good on mine. I am super pissed at both of my damn midfielders inside the first half, and I don't think we're going to get a win here, and we're probably going to concede first place to fucking Juventus. Got to get a damn goal if we want to win, guys. There's a damn goal, and my midfielder scores it. My backup midfield, the backup to the backup to the backup, like my fifth choice midfielder just scored that. Okay, you guys really want to shut me up, I guess. I like that. I like when my players step up to the challenge. Like, we can do this too. Don't doubt us. All right. It is my bad for doubting. Determination is the most important attribute in the game for development. Yep. I don't think anybody would argue with that. Want good determination on your team. A highly determined team doesn't give up, doesn't concede easily, they hold leads better, and they fight back from deficits better. There's just no downside to having a determined team. My bar is 11 or higher, but that's me. Depends on the league you're in. If you're Manchester United, it might be 12. But I just wouldn't bother with players lower than that unless they're really young and I can mentor them up to higher determination. It also depends. If you just want to cash in on players, mentor up to their determination and sell them. If you don't care about money, don't bother keeping young players with low determination. Oh, in the club DNA, for me, Yeah, determination's really the most important thing. Everything else is, like I wouldn't eliminate a player based on the other four. The other four are just really nice to have. Players with high work rate tend to play more minutes without getting super tired, and they work harder in your game. Teamwork is nice for working together on attack, but teamwork is really hard to get a high attribute in. Like even here, you see, I've only got like middling numbers on teamwork. That's still good to me. I just don't like players who are super selfish. Like this guy right here likes to run with the ball and not pass when he should. For example, composure is one of those things where, like, if the game is going really bad, will the player still remain focused and want to get out of that game, or will he just buckle and completely cave under the pressure? So to me, these are just the important mentals. Some people like other mental attributes even more. Like these are the ones that I find in a good combination have turned out to have the best results. You don't need money. Well, then I wouldn't bother training that one guy with forward determination. I would just sell him now. If you don't care about money, sell him now, and don't bother wasting all of your resources on him. I was just telling you what I would do if I wanted to cash in on him. Yeah, mentals are kind of a funny thing because, like overall, depending on the position, certain ones are more important than others. But when you are highlighting mental attributes for players, these ones almost always come up. I mean, for a goalkeeper, I don't care about much except determination, but these things can still help. They can. They're all right. Yeah, you also notice determination is never ever highlighted, even though it's the most important attribute overall. But it's not important to each individual role. So what they're highlighting there is what's important to the role. Determination is never important to the individual role. It's just important overall to their development. You want to get players for your first team. I feel the same way. I completely relate to what you're saying. Developing players for your first team is the most important thing. 100%. I'm on board with what you're saying. Yeah, it doesn't hurt anything to have him in a mentor group and playing for your under 21s while being on your first team doesn't hurt anything. It'll just raise his value a lot. Got to the 84th minute without doing my other subs because, yeah, distracted. You're distracting me. It's okay. It's good. It's fun. Now I'm winning 3-0. So, I mean, the pressure kind of is off in this game now. Game I was starting to worry about losing. All of a sudden, my team decided to show up at a moment I didn't expect. There's that high determination, and there's that, oh, another nice goal, and really good composure by my team to not fall apart. With a high value, would it make it harder to sell him? No, no, not at all. Big teams are going to want him, right? Though that's a really good point. If you want to sell him now, just put a future sale clause on him. You can probably still get tons of money for him. You make a good point. It limits the number of teams who can buy him if his value gets too high. Good thought. Very good thought. I didn't think of that. Well done, lads. It was a good win for us. Yeah. Ah, that's actually a really smart thing to think of. GF1, yay. Angelo with a pair of assists. And Northland won. Whew, this is awesome. So far, our European push is going really well. Let's go and see how our other teams did. Michelin is still in the top half. Copenhagen's still in the bottom half. They're now down to 4 losses with 2 wins. So they really got to step it up. Maybe next transfer window, somebody can redeem some points and help us get them better. Wouldn't be a bad idea, especially if they manage to get to the top 6. I'd like them to make 6. But yeah, that's where I'm going to stop for today. So you are smart. I mean, yeah, that was a really good thing to think of. I think that was a really good thing. Yeah, I'm right. That's smart. Nothing wrong with it. I don't know everything. Far from it. Okay, well, you have a good night. I'm probably not streaming tomorrow or Friday or Saturday. No, Friday I am. Friday I'll be here playing. I don't remember what I'm playing on Friday. I should look at my schedule. I have a schedule for exactly this reason. Endless Space, right? With people. I play everything with people except for this one night lately. But yeah. Until then, have a good one. Sleep well. You could wait for the season to be done. Sure, his value might go up more. Do what you need to do. But have a good sleep. I'm going to try to do the same.